We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hate hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of Eric Fun.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is another dose of your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get back into it. So I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, you guys, because some more information came out. Now, some more information came out, so of course I had to get those receipts. So let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it. First and foremost, let's talk about Diddy. Okay, because they're saying, reported from TMZ, Diddy, SEX worker, turns over alleged Diddy freak-off tape. Now, we already know that they had tapes that they confiscated from the residents, but this is a tape that an SEX worker had. So we got to get into it. Okay, so everyone go ahead and hit the like button. Remember, it doesn't cost you a single thing to like the video. Okay, it doesn't cost you a single thing. So please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel and all of that. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. And if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Please do not come in here trolling, saying crazy things, trying to give fake news and false information, because Queen's not falling for it, and neither is anyone else, okay? So you can just exit stage left. All right, so with that all being said, we had some technical difficulties on the backup channel when I kept posting a premiere video. I don't know why it was buffering so bad. I had to get in touch with YouTube, so I went ahead and posted it as an instant, for it to play instantly without the chat and all of that, so you all can check it out. And with that all being said, let's talk about Diddy. Okay, let's talk about it. All right, Mr. Elevation says, Queen, you have been on fire, just like that red. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so here goes nothing. One of Sean Diddy Combs' alleged encounters with an SEX worker was videotaped, and that tape is now in the hands of federal prosecutors. Sources with direct knowledge gave the information to TMZ. The male SEX worker met with the feds on Wednesday in New York City and signed a proffer agreement. Honey, y'all need to please pay attention, because this means they're signing proffer agreements, honey, and turning over evidence so they can make sure they don't get indicted, because Diddy don't try to take anybody down with you. Okay, so let's continue. Now, it says they signed a proffer agreement, which allows him to speak to federal investigators without fear of prosecution. Okay, so you don't have to worry about incriminating yourself. Now, we're told that the conversation revolved around Diddy with a man explaining how he got in touch with an escort to engage in a freak-off involving himself, Diddy, and a woman. And as we reported, prosecutors have said the freak-offs instances of group SEX are the center of their criminal investigation and case against Diddy. They say, our sources say the man also dished on what types of drugs Diddy allegedly liked to use during the SEX sessions. He could have just asked Jonathan Oddie for that information. Says, as well as details about one specific encounter he claims was caught on tape. Well, Diddy, this is it. Our sources say the threesome went down on May of 2023. Just last year, he was still having all the fun he could have right before Cassie dropped that lawsuit. Please pay attention. Said it went down in May of 2023 when the SEX worker claims he flew from Atlanta to Miami to meet up with Diddy and the woman, and he ended up having intercourse with her while Diddy filmed the encounter. Dirty freak. We're told that the SEX worker had a copy of the video from that alleged encounter and turned it over to the agents who met with him. I wonder how he got it. Did he steal it from Diddy? Did he slide up out of there with it? Did he give it to him for a souvenir, or did he purchase it from Diddy? Because remember, it's been alleged that they sometimes would film these things and then sell it as corn with the P. What's interesting about the SEX worker's account is it lines up with what Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, told us about the freak-offs.
What his own attorney said about the freak offs, it sure does when you think about it. His own attorney said that it was men and women, groups or whatever, and they were having consensual sex. Now, we don't know if this was consensual, but clearly much of it wasn't. Now, we spoke to him for the new TMZ Studios documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment. And he said the freak offs were not wild orgies and simply threesomes with consenting adults. As you know, law enforcement, see, here's the thing. You got to pay attention because if it was something consensual and there wasn't anything shady going on or illicit or illegal, why would the person who gave them the tape, the SEX worker, sign a proffer agreement saying that basically he won't be prosecuted for anything he says? There was nothing illegal going on. Why would he worry about being prosecuted? I just want y'all to keep that in mind. So, as you know, law enforcement officers arrested Diddy last week in New York City. They've charged him with trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York declined to comment on the story, and Diddy's camp did not respond when we reached out to them. Ooh, honey, this is getting real thick. I want you all to pay attention. Honey, it is another story coming out every 5 minutes. Okay, we next, aka Darkside Brother says, about to send something to your Cash App Queen. Thank you, beloved. You know, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, okay, for all that you do. So this is all crazy. But now let's talk about your girl, Naomi Campbell, who's clearly nefarious and also has been friendly with Diddy in the past. Now she is supposedly in some big trouble. Naomi Campbell, hold on. Honey, they say she's accused of financial something. Hold on, let me see here. Naomi Campbell barred as charity trustee in England, Wales, after funds spent on spa and cigarettes. So she spent the money on something shysty. Let me just go to this little brief clip. This is just like a 40-second clip. Let me just go to this so you all can hear what they're saying about Naomi, honey. Looks like everybody's getting called out on all fronts. Please pay attention. This is all crazy.
And supermodel Naomi Campbell is in hot water. She is accused of financial misconduct involving an anti-poverty charity that she founded. A watchdog investigation found that thousands of dollars were raised and they were spent on spa treatments, luxury hotels, and cigarettes. So now she is barred from working at the charity, which is Fashion for Relief, for 5 years.
Now, Naomi needs to sit down somewhere. That's what she needs to do. Please pay attention. Okay? They're stealing them folks' money with all the money that you have. Girl. And we know she has to have a lot of money, at least had at some point, because look at her house. Now, I want you all to pay attention to this because during this video, I'm going to show you a myriad of videos with satanic, ritualistic, demonic, satanic, wicked things going on. And yes, I said satanic first because it's really, really devilish. I want y'all to pay attention. So I'm going to show you a bunch of videos and images and all of this. But since we're talking about Naomi, let's start with her. Let's start with her. You see that? The all-seeing eye of Horus. That's her house. In case anyone's wondering. And I told you all this before. Now, one can say, well, wait a minute, Queen, that's all about the Egyptians. Well, yes, it is. But what you have to keep in mind is even though our ancestors used different things, different symbolisms, different images, you know, different writings and all of that, these people within the music and entertainment industry take these things and pervert them. So when you see them using these things, they're not using it for what me or you would use it for. They're not using it for anything that's good, you know, anything that's of God, of the Most High, anything that our ancestors likely used it for is all I'm saying. They take these things and pervert these images and these writings and all of these things just to be nefarious, okay? And just to mock us and to mock the Most High. This is what they do. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what Naomi did with that house when she had it built, but I wouldn't be surprised because that's absolutely what they do for the most part. Okay? And so it looks like she's in a bit of hot water and right along with her good friend and pal, Diddy. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about why the music industry is and quite frankly, so nefarious. Why is it so wicked? Why is there so much satanic stuff that goes on? Why is it just so devilish? Why is this? Well, quite frankly, I'm glad you asked. You see, because I was told when I was a teenager that the devil at some point was in fact the director of the heavenly choir, was the director of music. Now, as I got older and I looked into this, they say they really can't substantiate it definitively, but due to some of the things that are in the Bible, written in the scripture, it would seem that perhaps the music industry, is so wicked and so full of Satan, because one thing that we can say definitively that is in the Bible is that when people worship and give praises to the Most High God, that we do it with songs of praise, that we sing, that we play music for the Most High, like gospel music, okay? And then also, it's the fact that the Bible talks about harps being played. Harps are, of course, used to make music. So therefore, the devil, being as nefarious as he is and was, then before he was cast out of heaven, was upset because he wanted to be God. So he mocks God. He tries to copy and mimic God and takes things that are holy and makes them into something nefarious. And the people who follow and worship him do the same. Okay, so that's likely the reason. But now let's get into it, because y'all know I bring receipts. I'm not just sitting here telling y'all this. So I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this as I'm reading it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so with that all being said, prior to his fall, was Satan in charge of music in heaven? So now let's talk about it. Two biblical passages that speak about Satan's role before his fall include Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14. The King James Version of Ezekiel 28:13 states that the workmanship of thy tabrets and thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Based on this verse, some believe Satan was a music leader or was in charge of music in heaven. Is this true? Now, let me tell you all something. Now, years ago, I read a book called The Devil. I think that was the name of it. And it did say that Satan was in charge of music in heaven. And it said that he had horns in his chest, like musical horns. So that goes along with what this scripture is saying. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. So that sounds like that's true, that he had pipes in his chest when he was created. Now, the Hebrew text of this verse has been difficult to interpret. Modern translations offer a slightly different rendering, and crafted in gold were your settings and your engravings. That's what it says in the Hebrew text. Crafted in gold were your settings and your engravings. Now, on the day that you were created, they were prepared. The Greek translation of the Old Testament, the earliest translation of the Hebrew text, includes the list of stones used in the breastpiece of the high priest in this verse. Now, remember, I told you all about the 12 stones, or the stones that represent the 12 tribes of Israel that are in the breastplates. And when they say put on the full armor or the whole armor of God, that's what they were talking about, and be shrouded in the word of God as well. Okay, so for those of you who work with your stones and crystals, it is very important for you to know that. Okay, that the high priest and Melchizedek and all of them, they wore these breastplates with those stones in it. Now, though uncertain, the focus appears to be on the various stones that represent beauty rather than on music. Now, however, music is a part of what takes place around the throne of God in heaven. For example, Revelations 5:8 and 15:2 mention harps used in the worship of God. Worship of God in heaven will certainly include singing as well. Before the fall of Satan, he served as an angel before the Lord, likely involved in praising God. Though it's not clear if he led music, he was called the anointed guardian cherub. Ezekiel 28:14. Now, despite Satan's rank, his high rank in God's presence, at some point he turned against the Lord in pride. It says, you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. Above the stars of God, I will set my throne on high. I will sit on the mount of assembly in the far reaches of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Isaiah 14, chapter 14, 13 through 14th verses. Satan was clearly a leading or the leading angel in heaven, but it is unclear whether he served as the leader of music. Now, this detail is not directly answered in scripture. He would have worshiped God as other angels did, likely including worship through song or possibly an instrument. Yet his fall led to his rejection from his position and a future eternal torment, according to Revelation 20:10. Satan now serves his own agenda, living as a liar and the father of lies, seeking those he can devour. John 8:44 and 1 Peter 5 through 8. In connection with Satan's possible use or leadership of music in heaven, some see concerns regarding certain music on earth being used by Satan as well. However, music was created by God to bring glory to him. His people are called to use this art form to honor his name and to serve others. Believers must be discerning in their own use of music to make their choices honor the Lord rather than serve their own interests or dishonor the Lord through promoting sinful actions that promote the work of the evil one. So I want you all to pay attention because that said a whole lot. And what that really says to me is this. So the music industry is full of wickedness and nefariousness because, yes, the devil is trying to mock and mimic God. So if they sang in worship and praise, and if we still do, the angels do that, and if we still sing worship and praise to the Most High, then the devil wants people to sing praises and worship to him. And so that's why he's all in throughout the music industry. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Now, with that all being said, this is also nefarious. It absolutely is. Okay, so likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. So now let me just say something else. I'm going to read to you, and I would play DMX. I would just play DMX, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want ScrewTube trying to give me any copyright issues. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to put an overlay on the screen and then I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it to you myself, but I'm still putting an overlay up so y'all don't have to look at me while I'm reading it. Now, here is, I'm going to put this overlay up here and I'll explain this overlay soon, but just look at the imagery there. Isn't it all so nefarious? And also, by the way, since I don't really like to curse, I mean, I will every now and then, some of these words I'm not going to say the full words because DMX cursed a bit in this. Now, this is the poem that DMX did called Industry. The industry. Man, it's not the same. The industry. It's not a effing game. The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in. The industry. Just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry. Trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that. But I'm going to dress like this and talk with the gag. The industry got y'all word meaning nothing. The industry, F what you heard, because he's buffing. He's bluffing. The industry, money, bitches, hate. But I dare you to try to take a effing thing off my plate. The industry, like weight. But in the streets, we like get them. Set them 10 up. Set up that thing, catch them sleeping, and then hit them. And I'm going to pop whoever I'm with. The coroner is coming to get them. Industry ninjas, so that's how I did them. Now listen to this part, and I'm not going to say this part because he talks about sucking D, but I just want y'all to pay attention because that's going to go along with the rest of the stuff that I'm going to show you. The industry, mad niggas is full of shish. The industry, mad niggas is sucking dick. The industry, bees keep thinking it's a game. The industry, don't mention my effing name. The industry, mad niggas is full of ish. The industry, mad niggas is sucking dick. The industry, bitches think keep thinking it's a game. The industry, don't mention my effing name. The industry, if you ain't got a strong mind, the industry, you ain't get down. It's a matter of time. The industry, vultures with nothing to feast on. The industry, see me, I'm getting my beast on. The industry, staying in the dirt, playing in the dirt. Touch the wrong one in the industry and you will get hurt. I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. That's why you want the F I want. That's why you want the F I want, because nobody can finish me. The industry wanted dead or alive. New artists to sell their souls the way they survive. The industry don't give a F about you, but the industry couldn't make a dime without you. Okay, so there you all heard it. DMX was telling us a long time ago. He was literally warning us. He was literally warning us about the industry and all the nefarious things that go on. And it's not just the music industry, it is also the entertainment industry. It is also the entertainment industry. You know, movies, television, all of that. And for those of you who missed it, let me just say this again. The reason there's so much satanic and wicked stuff going on in Hollywood is because that's how it was created. That's what it was meant to be for. Because they took the wood from the holly tree, okay, and they used this to do magic and to cast spells, and they fashioned this wood into wands. Okay, so that's why they call it Hollywood, because they got the wood from the holly tree, which is nefarious, and they use it to do all sorts of satanic rituals and casting all sorts of wicked spells and things like that. So then when you think about all of those things, and you think about the stuff that DMX said in the poem, The Industry, and you think about all of the wicked imagery that we see and the types of music that people put out, it all makes sense. And then you go back to the scripture where it talked about how they praise and worship the Most High with music and through song. And then you say if the devil is trying to make a mockery of the Most High and trying to mimic the Most High, then this is absolutely why he would be all up and throughout the music industry. Okay, Deronda said, I remember you speaking about that before, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's get into some of these videos because it's all so crazy. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. The first one I'm going to go to is one that I posted on Twitter or reposted on Twitter. And I actually think I showed you all this one time before. I'm not sure. But the music or the sound is removed because they were playing music. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Remember, it doesn't cost you a thing to just get the likes up. Here we go. I mean, just look at this. You got Britney Spears, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Madonna, all of these people doing what looks to be satanic rituals in the midst of a circle. Look at this craziness. Look at the goat head in the background of one of them. Katy Perry. All just sick. Okay, so that's all so crazy. That's right, sweetie said anything for fame. Okay. So with that all being said, hold on. Now let's go to one of these videos. No, before I go to the videos, let's go to some of these pictures. Okay, I'll go to some of the pictures first. Now I want you to look at these things because they send a lot of subliminals. Now I already showed you guys Naomi Campbell's house. Now look at this. Now, this is the energy drink Monster. For those of you who don't know Hebrew, that M is 666. And we all know what 666 is indicative of. But if you look at this right here where the arrow is, it's showing you the numbers in Hebrew. Okay? How to say them and what they represent. And you can see Vav is the number 6. And so they have Vav right here 3 times. Okay, so saying 666. So for those of you who drink Monster energy drink, you see what they're doing? Okay, so that should tell you everything you need to know. And I've shown you this before. Jeffrey Epstein. This is Epstein Island. And this is a Nickelodeon logo. I mean, they look so very similar, and that's not a coincidence. And then you have all of these celebrities taking pictures with a hand over their eye. More subliminals. Nobody takes a picture like that on a regular basis. Nobody who was not a part of some ritualistic cult or some type of underworld or dark side of something, they would not be taking a picture like that. Who does that? Have any of you ever taken a photo like that? I'm sure you have not. Okay. Then look at Doja Cat, the devil horns and all of that. She wasn't acting like that when she first came out. But now look at her. Now that she's all entrenched into the industry, this is what she does because they know this is what is expected of them. And then look at Sam Smith. Very satanic and demonic imagery in his performances and videos. Again, with the devil horns. Look at Eminem doing both. Devil horns and hand over the eye. But these are the people that some of you worship. We know that they get a lot of stuff from our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians, but they use it for perverted reasons. Now look at this, and I want you all to pay attention to this because the devil horns that they use, right? At the end of the day, I told you, they take spiritual practices, spiritual things, holy things, and they pervert it. This is what they do. They pervert these things and to make it for them, to make it for their own devilish uses. And also to keep other people from doing it. Because actually the way this statue has the hands, that is called an apana mudra. And for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, you know I did a whole video about the apana mudras and how, these are for different things. For people who practice yoga, you're into spirituality. It can help you with different things like, cleansing the pathways of your chakras, like if your chakras are not aligned, just different things to be beneficial to you. But these nefarious people are not doing it for those reasons, for the same reasons that me and you would. In fact, they do these things. The reason, I think, this is just my opinion, but one of the reasons also that I think they pervert these things is so that we won't use it. Because these things are things that the Most High put in place for us to use for healing of ourselves, for uplifting our spirits, for raising our vibrations, for awakening us. And so they take these things and pervert it and then turn it into something twisted. So then you're afraid to use it because you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to be doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Just like some people are afraid to open their third eye because they're told that when you open your third eye, you'll see demons. Well, you might see demons. You absolutely might. Because the thing is, when you open your third eye, you can see into other realms of existence. You can see into the spiritual realm. And we know that both demons and angels, the ancestors, or whatever you choose to call them, reside in the spiritual realm. So you absolutely will see demons too. That doesn't mean that opening your third eye is demonic. The Most High gave us a pineal gland for a reason. Okay? And there's a lot of stuff about it in the Bible. And if people would just read, they would understand this. Now, another thing is all of the checkerboard imagery. Now, this is a video of Young Thug with Lil Uzi Vert. And let's pay attention to Lil Uzi Vert's name. Because if you say his name real fast, it sounds like Lucifer. And because that's how he wants it to sound. Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer. Okay? At the end of the day. More checkerboard. There it is again. Same video, of course. But even back in the day, they were using it. This is an old group from back in the day called the Selector. There you see the Kardashians with it on the floor. We already know how they get down, or at least we should. And then there's Dr. Dre on the cover of XXL. He's playing checkers, but there's the checkerboard right there. Okay? So I want you all to pay attention, or it looks like he's playing chess. But so anyway, with that all being said, this stuff is very, just very nefarious. So now let's go to some of these videos. And some of these videos, the people will act like they're joking, but they're dead serious.
Is that, And I wanted to thank you because you let me come on your show and sing. And that was, you know, a lot of my book is about my wanting to sing ever since I was a little girl, and my family lied to me and told me that I was better than Shirley Temple, and I believed them.
You're not helping a kid when you do that.
No, and I totally believed them and everything. And then when I was 6, all of a sudden, you know, I was a has-been, and they started to, like, tell my younger cousin that she was...
she was the real singer?
Yeah, and it, like, really upset me, so I, like, summoned Satan, and I write about how I made it.
Where do you summon Satan in the book?
It's in the chapter called Eat, Pray, Love, Conjure Satan. And when I was 12 years old, I signed a deal with Satan in my room, and I was the...
CBS doesn't condone this in any way.
Wait a minute. Because I wanted to get famous no matter what, and, you know, then I forgot that I had this deal with Satan and everything, and then I got really famous, and then one day I, like, had this tragic singing accident at
yes, I remember that,
And I realized then that Satan was coming for my soul. So, yeah, he wanted me to pay up, so... The book is about that, and how at the end I invite Satan to dinner at Spago. And
you should. He's there most nights, but you should.
No, but wait, and I ask him to, you know, give me a refinance on my soul thing, and so that works out. It has a happy ending.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Can you all see me now? Hold on. Let me just put something up here real quick. Hold on. Okay. Once in the chat if you all can see me and hear me. Once in the chat if you all can see me and hear me. I'm sorry, beloveds. Okay, we're gonna get right back started. So I'm trying to get this camera to acting right. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, great. So let me just go ahead and tell you all something. So it's been storming here because of the hurricane, and so we may experience some brief interruptions because what happened just now was the power blinked out. Okay, so the sound is the sound still distorted? Can you all hear me now? Hold on. You all hear me now? Is the sound okay? Once if the sound is okay, because somebody said the sound was distorted. Okay, so y'all here. Okay, so let's go to the next video. Sorry for the interruptions, but like I said, okay, good. So like I said, it's storming here because of what's going on with the hurricane. Okay, so if we have another interruption, just hang on for about a minute or two and everything will be back up. Okay, so I'm going to the next video. Likes up, everyone, please. A like and share. Thank you in advance.
You know, modern day Sinatra.
I'm sorry, that's not the one. Well, I'll go ahead and show that one, even though you all saw it before. But this is where Jay-Z saying the spirits come into him. Okay, clearly demons. Please pay attention. Okay, here we go.
You know, modern day Sinatra. So, you know, I try to live up to that. You know, I get possessed by the spirits. I get possessed by the spirits.
And then you listen to his music. So what do you think you get possessed by? And whether you like it or not, the truth is the truth.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Okay. Now, so here we go. I'm going to go to this other one where they're talking about the music and the devil.
How music works is this. Music is ran by the devil, magic, and witchcraft. Music is used as a way to push an agenda, okay? So what happens is, the devil's sole purpose is to get as many souls into hell, right? So what the devil needs is, the devil needs mouthpieces. Devil needs advocates. You know, say advocate, play devil's advocate, right? You need that. So yes. So when you have potential for leadership, when you have potential for influence, like I have a lot of potential for influence, right? So I'm somebody who's worthy to sell his soul. I'm somebody who's valuable for the devil. These people who have great influence, the devil wants that, like a scout. And that's what happens.
Okay, so you all heard that it's run through the devil, magic, and witchcraft. And we're talking about dark magic here, black magic, okay, nefarious things. Okay, so now let's go to this other one where this guy talks about how they pray over the music. Now, if you remember, I told you all this before. I told you all before that someone in the industry told me that they literally have an altar room at these record labels, right? And then so they have like 13 witches, and pay attention because it's 13, they say, that go into this altar room and they pray over this music. They pray over it. And so when you hear these songs, sometimes you become hypnotized. It's like you're mesmerized, like you can't stop listening. And even if you don't like the song the first time that you hear it, the more you listen to it, you'll find yourself singing the lyrics. It's literally happened to me before, and I'm sure it's happened to you too. So this is all a part of the nefariousness.
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
Rituals, ceremonies to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry. If you look at what the music is today, the industry is today, for all your Sam Smiths to your Dojo Cats to your Beyoncés they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. It's something that we kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't. It's absolutely taken over the world, taken over our children, and taken over everything that's coming to the times of world crisis.
It absolutely is. It's all wicked and nefarious. Now, I'm going to play this audio. I didn't get a chance to upload this video, but I want you all to hear it. This is Anton LaVey, the Satanist, the man who started the Church of Satan. This is his daughter speaking, and she literally is talking about how when you listen to certain music, you're actually engaging in a satanic ritual.
Music for a purpose. It's not just background music. It's not just, fluffy, light stuff.
This is not elevator satanic. It's ritualistic music. It is music that by even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
Yes, this stuff is deep, dark, and heavy. But guess what? God gave us dominion over the devil. God gave us the authority.
She's absolutely right. God did give us dominion over the devil and his minions. Please pay attention. So with that all being said, even by listening to it, okay, even by listening to it, you can be engaging in a satanic ritual. Now marinate on that. Okay, marinate on that. This is all so nefarious at the end of the day. Okay, so let's go to the next video where this guy is talking about the Hollywood contract.
What did they do after they got signed on these labels? They tattoo their whole body. Why you think they do that, yo? Just to be different? Nah. They did that because they anal to be in this truth of the music industry, showing their honors to the people that's before them. That's the truth of the industry, that you're willing to take a man anal. That's the truth. Okay? And when they did that, they just didn't do it one time, they did multiple times. And the only way they feel like they can get their dignity back is to tattoo their body to make them feel like I still have my manhood. What you think they did to B12, man? BK. They raped boys, man. They popped them in the immature, they raped them boys. They literally raped them boys, dude. It's just the truth. Some people can handle the truth and some people can't. We don't care. But it's time to start looking at things with both eyes open and not both eyes shut, because the truth is the light, man. It's this cat that want to be a part of the rap game so bad, man. He looked like he would kill his mama to get a hit record. Rick Ross signed this guy on YouTube. And when Rick Ross signed that dude, man, as wicked as Rick Ross is, now you know Rick Ross is wicked as hell. He did not want to sign that brother. When that dude signed that contract with Rick Ross and Jewmaker hit it right on the point. He looked at that contract, man. He just shook his head, but you can see in his eyes. He just had a look where all bets are off. Like, God damn, another brother gone. You see what I'm saying? But them demons got to be fed, man. He has to do it.
And this is all so true. And let me tell you something too. One of the things that's a problem with the music and why it's so evil also is because back in 1939, there was a Nazi by the name of Joseph Goebbels, and he changed the way music is tuned. Now, music was at 432 hertz frequency, and then he had it changed, all instruments tuned to 440 hertz frequency, which is a frequency that makes you feel angry. It causes low vibrational, feelings and thoughts and emotions, chaos ensues, and things like that. And so he wanted all of the music to be recorded at 440. And so that's also something that makes people, that's another part of the nefariousness of it all. Now, mind you, there were some artists who didn't want their music to that frequency, and that is Michael Jackson, Prince, John Lennon, Jimi Hendrix, and Bob Marley. And I want you to pay attention, because all of those artists died in very mysterious ways and before their time. Okay? Those 5 artists all died in very mysterious ways and before their time. So do you think that's a coincidence? Okay, do you think that's a coincidence? Laverne says music was made to be beautiful. Yes, it was. But, due to nefarious people, this is where we are. Okay, so now let's go to the dark side of the industry.
Y'all really pay attention to Hollywood, bro. Like, really, really, really pay attention. A lot of these folks came in the industry as a kid. They be so ready to live that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? They don't even be knowing what they really be getting themselves into. I mean, we on the outside looking in, but a picture can tell 1,000 words, if you ask me. Welcome to Hollywood, where the victims eventually turn into the predators. Just imagine all the secrets. Imagine all the stuff that they can't talk about. Imagine all the stuff that they went through. And deep down, they want to tell the world everything. But they know once they sign that contract, they can't say nothing. It always started at an early age. Like, some stuff just don't be making sense to me. And a lot of times I feel like they put it right in our face just to show us how powerful they are. I just don't understand. And once you like 16, and I had to cover up that picture because he in his boxes. When you start doing your research, you really start noticing things. And notice how he always in red. Like, some of these pictures just, I don't know, him and Will good friends. Like, show up to every party, good friends. The bad boys. I mean, those must be some real interesting parties and videos. Especially when there's a 40-foot bed in the backyard. That's a huge bed. Look like the same bed some of these pictures was taken in. But then again, Who knows? This industry is really wicked. Sooner or later, everything gonna hit the fan. What's done in the dark is gonna all come to the light. 39 years in prison, over a dozen victims. All you gotta do is open your eyes, just pay attention. Y'all should know by now who run the industry, and it ain't no human. Keep going broke though, giving them all your money. Remember what Cat Williams said. There's a lot of plants in this industry. You just never know. That's why they say the truth is way more scary.
Okay, so he's absolutely right. And I want you all to pay attention to something because not only, you know, is there a lot of crazy stuff going on, but people are afraid to speak about it. People are afraid to come out. And even if they engage in the stuff and at some point they decide they don't want to do that, they want to give their life over to God, well, at the end of the day, they still very often live in fear of saying anything about the things that they've witnessed and possibly even participated in. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, this next one is a couple of parodies by Trevor Moore.
Oh. Hi, we're the Illuminati.
Hi. Hello. Hi. So we heard about your big special. We are very excited.
Yeah, thanks. Me too. Yeah, but before you can do a special on a major cable network, we're going to need you to sign some things.
Okay, sounds good. We're also going to need you to swear a blood oath to us and our cause. And if you violate this oath, we're going to murder you and everyone that you love.
Got it. Great. You'll also need to pledge your soul to Baphomet. He's this god that we all worship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He looks pretty cool. He's like a crazy goat man kind of thing.
Now, we will need you to include some of our messaging in your program.
Oh, okay. So you mean like there's going to be a commercial sponsor or something?
No, nothing tacky like that. No, we just want you to have some, self-destructive themes. Like we use a lot of hip-hop artists to glorify violence and drugs, pop stars to push materialism, country acts to instill suspicion of education.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
We'll also need to film you in a lewd act with a minor to use as blackmail if you ever think of telling anyone about anything that happened here today.
Now, could I self-tape that, or is that something that you'd want me to shoot here?
We'd like you to do that here.
Yeah. Well, finally, we're going to need a suicide note in your own handwriting, just in case things get crazy.
I actually might have...
I may be a little kid, but I have been around. Can hear the girls all scream soon as our wheels touch down. Junkets in Tokyo, fashion shoots in Milan, then a private jet to Madison Square Garden, 36-week-long tours, 10 singles on the charts. So hear my message, girl, 'cause it comes from the heart.
Okay, so now with that all being said, that was Trevor Moore. And in that second clip, that was supposed to be a parody about Justin Bieber, okay? Now, I want you all to pay attention to something, though, because Trevor Moore, the comedian who made those parodies, he died mysteriously, in my opinion, because he died at a so-called accident, but they claim that he fell. Okay, they claim that he fell from his second-story balcony and that his body was discovered on his patio. And the coroner ruled it an accidental death. Now, I'm sorry, that sounds real suspicious to me. That sounds real suspicious to me, that the man who was exposing them through parodies and skits, because that's what he was doing, he was trying to let us know what's really going down. And this man turns up dead, and they say that he fell off a second-story balcony and landed on his patio. Okay, so please pay attention. When people start speaking out and exposing truth, this is what happens. All right, so likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, here is another one.
She's the artist in the world. She has received 6 Grammy Awards, a Global Awards. In addition to that, she is acknowledged as one of the greatest music artists of all times. But if I were to tell you that Lana Del Rey involves occultic practices in her music and performances, would you believe me? In one of her videos, she throws up this hand symbol, which she does a lot in her videos and at her concerts. So this is not a coincidence. Now it's about to get very interesting. Now I'm going to place the picture of Baphomet next to this photo. Notice the resemblance. Both of their hands are in the same position. This is a common occultic phrase that means as above, so below, which they believe when they channel deities from above, they manifest through them in the earth. That's why they hold one hand up. That represents the spiritual realm. And the hand down represents the earthly realm. Lana Del Rey also made an album called Salve et Coagula. That word basically means to practice divination. Now I'm going to place the picture of Baphomet back on the screen. Notice the same words that's on her album are written on the arms of Baphomet. It says Salve Coagula. See, it all starts to make sense when you put the pieces to the puzzle in the right place. Now take a look at this. It says excerpts from Lana Del Rey's upcoming book of spells. And if for some reason you're still not convinced, from none other than Lana Del Rey, she admitted to this. Read it for yourself. Truth in plain sight. On this picture, she's throwing up devil horns, the all-seeing eye. She also has the third eye on her forehead. And during one of her most recent concerts, all of a sudden, a large number of people start falling for no apparent reason. And it sent shockwaves through the internet. And people online said something strange were manifesting. Lana Del Rey has made it obvious in regards to whose side she's on. And according to an article, when she was asked about the process of writing songs, this was her response. It says Stevie Nicks and Lana Del Rey explain how their mystic songwriting processes align. Now listen to this. Sitting in a room with some candles and a piano and communing with our own channels that are going up to the spirit world. You remember I said when they hold a hand up, it represents the spiritual realm, and the hand down represents the earthly realm. So according to this article, if she's channeling during writing songs, then the music is being used as a weapon to cast spells on her fans. And this could be the reason why they worship these celebrities. So don't be deceived, because even after you watch this, the enemy is going to try to persuade you to believe that this is art and entertainment and I'm reaching. You can't make this up. I'm showing you facts. And have you noticed the most famous music artist promotes the same symbolism and they push the same agendas? It's because they serve the same master. So don't be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that what he shall reap. God bless you.
Okay, so you all heard that, but let me tell you something. When he's talking about Salve et Coagula, which is on the arm of Baphomet, well, that really is basically meaning dissolve and coagulate. Okay, it's like the breaking down of a substance or an element, breaking it down and then, reforming it into something new. Okay, so that's what that is indicative of. It's like, and then I want you to pay attention, because coagula comes from coagulate, and coagulate is like a clot. It's like forming a blood clot. Like your blood coagulates. Like when someone dies, upon their death, the blood may start to pool. Say, for example, if they were stabbed or shot or whatever, and the blood spilling out of the body starts to coagulate. That's a thickening of the blood. Okay, that's a thickening of the blood. So please pay attention. This is all nefarious. Like I told you guys, it is all some crazy stuff that these people are into.
Here's the truth. The truth is this. A bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and
period. The industry's obsessed with it, but those record executives, they're not dying because they don't push this culture on their own people, but they're encouraging you to push it on yours, and they're paying you handsomely to do it. The reality is, I know a lot of you. A lot of you are good people. You're family guys. You're not the image that you put out there to the world. Why? Why don't you be the example? Stand up. I challenge you. Be the example. Make music about the culture you want to see. Don't just get online today and talk about how, whenever a rapper makes it, his own people take him down. Don't just make those videos. Don't be sad. Don't rest in peace. None of that stuff. Be the change you want to see. Inspire it in your community. Reach out to other rappers and say, we have to stop.
That's right. He's absolutely right. I want you to pay attention, okay? Because at the end of the day, if all of these rappers just got together and said, listen, we're not talking about drugs. We're not talking about sex. We're not talking about killing each other. We're not talking about that anymore. We're not calling women bees and hoes. We're not doing it. If they came out and stood together, unified, and said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about something positive. We're going to talk about something that's woke. We're going to talk about inspirational, motivational. If they did that, what choice would they have? What choice would the record labels have? Because without the artists, they're nothing. But you see, the sad thing is these people just won't, they won't separate. They're all caught up in doing what they've been told to do or indoctrinated or coerced into doing. And so it's just going to stay the same. And it's absolutely sickening. Now, here's Nick Cannon exposing some truth.
It's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on. And people manipulate young women, they manipulate kids, and at the end of the day, it's all for the dollar and all to feed their ego. So I've seen some shit where you be like, that's just not right. Like, that person shouldn't be talking to that person. That person shouldn't be in the room with that person alone. When you're in this position to change people's lives, and you hold the keys to what they consider success, you see a different aspect of the person. People will do anything to achieve their goals. And then people will manipulate and misuse that energy to get what they want.
Everything that Nick Cannon said in this interview explains exactly how Hollywood is. He explained how people manipulate people when they're coming up and rising into fame. And we've seen this with people such as Harvey Weinstein and others. He also explains his own experiences where he's seen things that he just doesn't believe is right. And what's even more disheartening, he talks about how the industry manipulates kids. So drop in the comments and let me know what you guys think of everything.
Okay, so all nefarious. Now, with that all being said, remember the other day I told you guys about a video with Rick Ross admitting to doing voodoo. And he's not doing it for anything, beneficial, clearly for nefarious purposes, okay? So with that all being said, and I told you how he told the guy on the video to do voodoo on us while we're watching. So I'm going to play that video, but don't worry. There's nothing going to be shown where he's putting voodoo on us, okay? I made sure.
After watching this, you will see how serious it is when I say that we are in a spiritual war. Rick Ross decides to do voodoo. Yeah, do voodoo on public national TV to those that watch. Wake up, y'all. This how they get down. Like, come on now. Really? Like, you think he the only one? You think he really the only one? There are enchantments that they put on their music, that they put on their clothing, even in concerts. It's public, worldwide rituals they doing on you. When you think you looking at some entertainment, it's a spell being cast on you.
Natural experience. I'm from Miami. I'm from where Haitians do voodoo. I'm from where, when you talk about spirits, I grew up around that. My neighbor next door to me, the 4th of July, 3 days before the 4th, they always went and bought a $40 goat. All us will grab a leg. They finna chop the head off, drain the blood. Holy Ghost, it's only right for everybody watching. Let's take them to another level. Let's take them. I want you to put voodoo on everybody watching. And bitch, if you watching and you don't want no voodoo, run from it, ho. But you can't run.
Wait a second. Did he just cuss us out? He said, so B, if you watching and you don't want no voodoo, run from it, ho. I'm telling you, this is all nefarious. So you see, I cut the video, honey, because nobody have time for that. Nobody has time for that, okay? This is all crazy. Jeff ATL said Rick Ross is Diddy's South Florida boo thing. Okay. And he is clearly nefarious. Trying to put us down with the BS. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's go to the next. Because this is a woman. I'm gonna skip that one. We're gonna go to Bobby Shmurda. Okay, talk.
They just don't talk about it because I'm not on your label. I'm not a slave. I'm not wanting none of these slaves. So they don't talk about you're the biggest slave. Like NBA is like one of the biggest slaves in the game. He's one of the biggest slaves to them. So they're gonna go crazy for boy. You feel me? They're gonna make sure all the fake, all this y'all see on YouTube is fake views. All this fake, everything that y'all see on my dead grandmother. Is fake. It's for 1 million views. It's $4,000 cash on game on my dead grandmother. That's what these labels do. You feel me? They kick that out. And they push that. They helped it too because they pay like the radio $2,000 every station. Every people they pay like $2,000 a pop to get the playing on things. So everything y'all listening to is just all altered. Altered means fake. That this was paid for so y'all minds can listen to this. I'm a real, so they can't get me with that. You feel me? I don't listen to.
Okay, so you all heard that. So he basically is talking about, they make it so you don't have a choice but to hear it because they pay these record stations to play these things. Okay, this is what he's saying. They pay thousands of dollars. So you have no choice but to hear it if you're listening to the radio. And here's the thing. Don't get it twisted because some of these gospel singers, they're involved in the same stuff. Some of these gospel singers are involved in the same stuff. Don't think that just listening to gospel music is the way, because a lot of them are doing the same dirty stuff. Okay. I mean, you know that when you think about the Diddy parties, there was gospel artists there. Okay. So please pay attention. Now, this is B.O.B.
We need to talk about clones. Part 5.
You've put out some very strange tweets of late about cloning. What is about cloning? Do you want to get cloned, or are celebrities getting cloned?
Yeah, man. I think people should look it up, man. I don't really want to say too much, but I will say do your own research.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. It's no more conspiracy. I know. And so it's really up to each person to do their own research and come to your own truths. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we as people listen too much to what somebody tells us, and we don't actually go background check and really say, you know what, that really don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really look at a lot of different things and you start to think. And so what I like to do is I like to provoke thought, and provoking thought is the least you can do. You can't make somebody believe something. You really got to just provoke thought.
Would you like to be cloned?
Would I like to be?
Yeah.
Am I already cloned?
Oh, are you already cloned?
I'd rather not say. But
that means there's a possibility that you could already be cloned.
Yes, there's a possibility. But I know I'm me because my fingernails look the same, and I have dreams too.
And also too, y'all need to pay attention to these other celebrities when they're leaving hints. They're leaving clues all over the place. Everybody can't talk. Everybody can't talk because, they got kids or, they made some type of agreement. But pay attention. Everybody who's in this shit or who's in this industry or who has a clone is not evil or malicious. Some people just got born into this shit, like me.
It's not just about copying a person. It's about consciousness transfer. And it started with MK Ultra. And the reason why this is important is because it's a lot of people that are unwillingly participating in this shit and they don't even fucking know it. It's mind control. Hollywood studios, they're actually the CIA, and that's why all this information gets put into these movies. It's sort of like a soft disclosure, sort of like a predictive programming. I don't know, but like you ever see these movies and it's just like, why the fuck are these secrets in this fucking movie? It's like, that's why it's CIA. It's behind.
I want you all to pay attention. I'm actually glad I played that video first because the next one I'm going to play is the one I started to play. It's a woman talking about the CIA and some of the things they do. But here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention because he's absolutely telling the truth. Okay? So with the MK Ultra and the CIA and these movies having subliminals and all of that, for those of you who've been my day ones, you remember that 4 years ago I did a video exposing Disney, and I talked about a lot of the nefarious things that Disney has been alleged to have done. And also the fact that the CIA They said that they have used Disney movies like Alice in Wonderland specifically, okay, to put MK Ultra mind control on people. So please pay attention. Now, here is the next video with the woman talking about the CIA.
If they tell you, would you
what all
believe
did that
them?
entail?
The office I worked in was like the Q in James Bond. We were the Q for the CIA and the intelligence community. So there were different parts of it. Whatever you needed, if you needed a bug, if you needed secret writing or a microdot or a concealment device or whatever you needed, you had to come to us and we'll put something together for you.
What's the most memorable moment from being in disguise for you?
There were a number of them, but one that has to stand out. I went to the White House and I briefed George H.W. Bush, the president at the time, while I was wearing a full face mask. So we're sitting like this close together and I'm telling him that I'm going to show him the best disguise that we have. And he's looking for a bag, like, where is it? I said, well, I'm wearing it and I'm going to take it off. And I reached to start taking it off and he said, stop. And he got up and he walked and he looked at it. He didn't know it was a mask. He wasn't sure what I was wearing. He sat back down. He said, okay. So I took it off and I was holding it up in the air so he could see it. My whole head. It had hair and a face and a neck.
So you could walk around as someone else?
Absolutely.
And that would be the disguise?
Absolutely.
Now I want you all to marinate on that for just a second if you could. Isn't that crazy? But it's a whole lot of that going on. Okay, it's a whole lot of that going on, honey. She's not lying. Okay, and they have these things that they call synthetics. We'll talk about that on another broadcast. But now, in the meantime, between time, let's listen to Miss C. Now, Miss C is a transgender woman from years ago who was talking about some of these people that are undercover on the DL. Okay. They're on the DL in the industry, not just the music, but the entertainment industry as well. And she named some names.
The memoir I Rise, published in April 2011, I mentioned rapper, actors, producers, and some of those that I have spoke publicly on is LL Cool J. I met as a street prostitute 15, 16 years ago. The encounter with LL Cool J was a one-time encounter. I serviced LL Cool J. I knew it was LL Cool J, and he knew, in fact, I was transgender. It was like any other encounter I had. I got paid. I performed the service. Thank you. Never spoke again. We didn't text, email, call. We didn't exchange any numbers or contact information. I never saw him again. I saw Eddie Murphy 15, 16 years ago pick up friends of mine on that street block in New York City.
Hey boy, you look mighty cute in them jeans.
Eddie Murphy was on the strip during that time, come out a lot. And he not only recruited, but paid very well. Several transgender friends of mine who I saw get in his car. I also saw them get out his car with several $100s. So I know for a fact Eddie Murphy, ever since 96, has been utilizing transgender prostitutes.
Okay, and so I definitely believe that because we all know about the time years ago when Eddie Murphy got caught with a transgender person in the truck or in the vehicle with him. 3 o'clock in the morning, pulled over by the police on Sunset Boulevard, the Sunset Strip or whatever. And here's the thing. Back then he said, oh, I was just out getting a newspaper. And I saw this person needed help, so I helped them. Well, that's lies. Because here's how you know that's lies. First of all, if I myself am out at 3 a.m., if any of you yourselves are out at 3 a.m., what we're not going to just casually do is pick up a whole stranger. Now, maybe if you see a pregnant woman, an elder, a child, or something like that. But are you just really going to pick up somebody who's out there walking on the strip? Okay, you're going to give that person a ride. You don't know them from a can of paint. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Because here's the thing. Most people who are out at 3 a.m. in the morning walking around, not at a club or not at a Waffle House, but just literally walking the streets, are clearly up to something nefarious. And if we as regular citizens wouldn't do it, why would a celebrity do it when there's crazy people out there and there's stalkers and crazed fans and all of that? Why would he just so casually and cavalierly pick up someone at 3 a.m. in the morning while he's out getting a newspaper? Please sit down, Eddie Murphy, okay? So, and then let's not forget how that person turned up dead. And they too, just like Trevor Moore, supposedly fell from a roof. They say Trevor fell from his balcony to the patio, 2 stories. Okay. And then this transgender person who was in the car with Eddie Murphy, 21 years old, they turned up dead shortly thereafter. And it was said that they fell off of a balcony, off of a roof. At the end of the day, they were pushed. How do we know they were pushed? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You see, because one of the things that I learned when I was in college for criminal justice was I learned how to examine a crime scene. And I learned how to look at different things on a body to understand how the person possibly died. And this person had scratches down the side of their face and down the side of their body. What does that tell me? That tells me that they didn't jump off of the building, because when you jump from a building, you jump away from the building. So there would be no need for scratches to be on your face. But however, if you were on that building, on that roof, and someone pushed you, you would be trying to cling on, trying to hold on for dear life. And so you might slide down the side of the building before full on falling, which would cause scratches on your face. Okay, please pay attention. Now, some people could say that there were scratches because they hit the ground, but at the end of the day, those scratches came from the side of that building. I'm pretty sure that's my opinion. And I believe that they absolutely were pushed. Okay. It's funny how these people who come out and expose things, or who have the ability to expose things, usually turn up deceased. Okay. And that brings us back to Diddy. Okay. That brings us back to Diddy, which Diddy may unfortunately turn up like they say Epstein did. Okay. Not wishing that on him, but it's just a fact, because he knows so much. Now, let's go on to the next video where this guy is talking about secular hip hop.
I'm just going to say it because.
Hold on, that's not the one. Here
I
it
don't
is.
listen to hip hop, secular hip hop at that, because obviously what they talk about is ridiculous. But I do pay attention to pop culture. I do pay attention to what's going on in media and like with the celebrities and stuff, because I want to see what people are getting away with nowadays. And I know everybody right now is talking about this Drake, Future, Kendrick, J. Cole, beef or whatever. But I want to talk about the fact that if you look at this album that Future and Metro Boomin came out, they have a song on there called Cinderella. And I just want you to take a look at some of the lyrics. This is in the intro of the song, okay? Talking about talking to the devil, singing to the devil, talking to the devil while sipping lean or doing drugs, or as the Bible would call it, is pharmakia. Now, it's interesting because if they're talking to the devil and singing to the devil, that is a form of worship, is it not? Because when we talk to God and we sing to him, that is worship. The other thing that is interesting is that in the Old Testament and New Testament, it says that a lot of these pagan religions, right, they would engage in drug use and drunkenness so they could get into like a seance-y type of spiritual way, so they can open themselves up to spirits and engage in like orgies and demonic worship. So think about the people that are at the club, high, drinking, with the lights off, dancing and singing music that is telling you to talk to the devil and sing to the devil. And this is why as Christians we have to pay attention and not fall to like listening to secular music or falling into pop culture or listening and following these people, because these people are leading others to hell. And it is out there in the open. Okay, you can go and find this online, just look at the lyrics. It is out in the open. And people are going to sing this and openly celebrate singing and talking to the devil. People, Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming, because it is getting worse. The Satanism is continuously just getting out of control to the point where they're not even hiding it anymore and they're celebrating it.
And he's absolutely not lying, okay? This is exactly what people are doing. And it's all so crazy. I mean, some people do anything for money, but I want you to listen to this next video. Now, in this next video, it's a guy talking about when he was going to sign a record deal, he was going to sign the contract, and the person's voice changed to like a demonic voice. Okay, please pay attention.
I'm just going to say it because I feel like you should know. Anyway, when we signed it, before we signed the deal, I was a bit off on it. And because the pressure was a bit much, it was like, sign it, sign it. And I remember speaking to my old manager, right?
And no, if I'm lying, I'm flying. He's phoned me and we're in the studio and I put him on loudspeaker, old manager, and he's like, yeah, like, what are you lot thinking about the deal? We're like, yeah, we want to sign it, but we want to wait and see what happens. And like, on God Shams, yeah, his voice changed in like a demon's voice. Sign the deal, sign it now, sign it. I got so shook I threw my phone on the floor. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Wallahi. And me and Crep just staring at the phone on the floor like, what the fuck? His voice just changed into like a gremlin. And all he kept saying is, sign the deal, sign the deal, sign the deal. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I dropped the phone and stepped back like this, and we're just staring at the phone for about 3 minutes. Like, I'm like, did you hear that, bro? He's like, yeah, bro, like, what the fuck's that? Like, that's mad. So I picked up the phone and I phoned back my manager, like, yo, bro, like, what happened to your voice, bro? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, your voice changed, bro. He's like, what are you talking about? So from then, I was a bit, yeah, this is a bit funny. Ended up signing the deal anyway, but I was like 5 hours late. They still signed it. I was a bit skeptical. When you watch the video back, my face is a bit like,
yeah,
it's a bit weird. I don't know if I was overthinking it.
Okay, I find it all interesting that he signed it anyway. What does that tell you? The fact that he signed it anyway after hearing that man's voice turn into a demon's voice, but you still signed it. Oh, I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. DSB says the Most High said in the last days that the devil will show its horns. We in a huge spiritual war. This is the real World War III. Absolutely, beloved. You are absolutely right. And that is a very, very good point. Okay. Now, listen, let me just say this right now. I have not done the spiritual vitamins today. I didn't get a chance to. I've been so busy, but we got to get on there tomorrow because this is all nefarious and we need our spiritual vitamins. Okay. With all the stuff we're listening to. Okay. So here's the next video.
I was doing a performance with a well-known rapper and I had to open up and it was my turn to get on stage and I got on stage. I did my thing. When I came down, a voice began to speak to me and said, I need you to go to the back. And I didn't understand why I was hearing this voice, but I went to the back of the club that we was in when we was performing. I sat there and it said, watch. I just heard a voice said, watch. And I started to look and this rapper started rapping and doing what he do, but my eyes opened, and not to be super deep or super spiritual, but it really happened. My eyes opened to the spirit realm where I saw these shadows. It was like dark shadows coming out of his mouth through every word that he was doing, saying, and go into the people. And I started to see how people started changing. Like they started getting more violent. The girls started getting more seductive and all of this. And next thing you know, gunshots just started to happen in the club. I run out and I'm just bawling and crying. I'm like, this is what you wanted me to see. That day was a day that I said, that music is, I'm done. Because if I can make music that can affect a generation like that, cause them to go in a different direction, to spark up violence, to spark up fornication, I don't want any part of that, God. And so the Lord said, he said, the same spirits that torment you while you're making your music will torment others. That was the turning point. I don't want to do that. I want to be a person that's going to affect a generation that causes them to run towards God, live a pure life, happy life, full of joy life, not a life that comes with consequences. And when you see the effects that the other music have on the lives of a generation, it will cause you to change. And I pray that God will open your eyes to see that.
Okay, so clearly the Most High saved him from it. This is all crazy. Okay, so just a few more videos to go. So let's go to the one where Kanye West talks about these contracts. Just a brief clip.
They have contracts. There was a contract. Now it's later been amended, but Victory Boy that signed to Rock Nation. A line inside of the contract that I'm sure Jay-Z and Beyonce never saw was, it said that Victory would not be able to sing about Christ or be able to sing about God in the contract. Rhythm and blues was the first step of taking God out of the people because we had gospel. Aretha Franklin had gospel. Ray Charles. Patti LaBelle.
Okay, so let's go to Chingy, and we all know what happened to him. Or I'm sorry, it wasn't Chingy, it was Houston. I usually get them mixed up, but this is Houston, the one that plucked his own eye out.
You might remember rapper Houston for this song, peak of his career. There was speculation that he saw the dark side of the industry. He tried to make it all end. He later used a fork to his own eye. None of that shit is worth you losing your manhood to another man who must keep your manhood at all costs.
Okay, so this is all just real wicked as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm going to play for you a video of Madonna having a full-on ritual during an awards show. Okay, and she's chanting some things. Now you won't be able to hear it because I actually turned down the volume because it was music in the background. But after you watch it, I'm going to tell you what she was saying. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read some of it to you while it's playing. Okay, so I'm going to put it back up. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So I may be a little bit ahead of what she's saying because I'm reading it before the actual chanting starts. Okay, and so then she's mixing the scripture. I want you to pay attention because what she's basically doing is mixing the scripture with her own perversions. Okay, so pay attention. And at one point she says, those of you who have not learned what some call the deep things of Satan, I know your works. I know your toil and your patient endurance. I cannot hear evil men, but have tested those who call themselves apostles, but I'm not. I have this against you that your best. I'm sorry, I have this against you, but I'm not. I have this over. The best love had wanting, needing, waiting for you to justify. And I saw the beast rising out of the sea. It had 10 horns. It had 10 horns and 7 heads. So this is all some real crazy stuff. Okay, at the end of the day, these people are doing full-on wicked things. LJ said no sound to that. Yes, there was no sound on purpose, beloved. I said because it had music in the background. I just wanted you all to see the nefarious satanic imagery. You couldn't hear it. I was reading what she said. Okay, so with that all being said, the last thing I want to show you all before I close out is, yes, that's right. She was paying homage. That's right. To Satan himself, beloved. Absolutely, Witty T. So now, Laverne said these clowns are enjoying it. Yes, absolutely. LJ says, thank you. You're welcome, beloved. Okay, so now listen, the last thing I want to play for you before I leave is I told you guys about the fake stories that are being put out. There was a fake story about the baby oil that the feds found at Diddy's house being spiked or being GHB. I told you the feds absolutely have common sense. They would absolutely have that stuff tested. And then I told you about the fake story with Jay-Z, saying that Jay-Z was under investigation and they raided his house and all of that. These are fake stories being planted for clicks and views. But the last fake story I want to tell you about, and also let me say this, that video that I showed you of Miss C, the transgender person who was talking about Eddie Murphy and LL Cool J, someone posted that video days ago and they had on the caption, Diddy's boyfriend exposes him. That's not Diddy's boyfriend. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention to the lies. But here's another thing. With that all being said, this is a video that came out today. Well, no, it didn't come out today, shall I say. It was posted today, reposted today. This is an old Diddy video, and the person who posted it put on the caption that it was Diddy speaking from prison. And so some people took it and ran with it. It's not Diddy speaking from prison. You can look at the background and tell he's not in prison on this video because he's wearing regular clothing, not an orange jumpsuit. And also, since when does the prison have crown molding? Or when does the jail have crown molding? We know Diddy's at one of the most nefarious detention centers in New York. Okay, maybe in the world, for all we know, or maybe in the United States, shall I say. But there's definitely no crown molding. Okay, so people need to stop lying and putting out false information just for clicks and views, because other people will see this stuff and repost it thinking that it's the truth.
Properly, money will be used properly. But as you know, as I'm glued to the TV, and you know, I'm trying to figure out like just what's even going on, like how is this happening? And sometimes it's like, you know, I gotta turn the TV off because it's like it's so overwhelming. Nowhere near as overwhelming as it must be. Money will be.
Just a darn shame, okay? So that's what I'm telling you. Kelly said, looks too nice to be jail, okay? All right. All hell no said the music is blowing me. Steven says he clearly is in a house in the video. Yes. So I'm just telling you, people see stuff like this and they want to just trick people, just put out fake news, just get clicks and views. And this is the kind of stuff they're doing. Okay. So please pay attention and don't fall for it. And when somebody else is trying to tell you that it's all real, don't fall for the BS. Okay. One more thing. I almost forgot about this. One more thing. So these, hold on. Hold on, beloveds. I'm going to play this Jay-Z video for anybody that missed it when I played it last week.
And so during this performance, he sat in Jesus' seat at the Last Supper reenactment, basically just mocking Jesus. This was to mock Jesus and usher in a false self as God belief and doctrine. And this is where we are now. People believe they are their own gods. So this particular ritual brings forth the entities that will influence this type of belief and understanding. And then the third ritual that was performed, Quavo, well, he wore a ritual mask of a phantom. And you know, the mask of a phantom represents being disembodied or not having a body, or a entity that doesn't really have a body. So it basically represents a spiritual being. The mask represented the disembodied, unseen entities that were being invoked by performing the ritual. So this is where wearing this mask became significant. And then Maverick City, a Christian group, joined in to merge the sacred with the profane in an attempt to put Satan over God's worship again. I've been saying this for 30 years. The devil wants his place back. And that night, he somewhat got the opportunity, because this choir got behind a guy who sings about, you know, slanging dope, killing people, murder, partying, sex, drugs, promiscuity, all the things that the Bible stands against. They got behind a guy. Not only that, but he wore a ritual mask. So that made them a part of this particular ritual. Well, the Bible tells us to have no fellowship with unfruitful works, or these type of works of darkness. It says, but rather reprove them or expose them. So you're not supposed to be on stage in these rituals, but you should be exposing them and speaking out. And we know, of course, they were glorifying the rituals. They thought that these performances were awesome. And that is very, very sad. These rituals invoked and summoned beings to come and bring death and destruction to our nation. The same way that BLM and Antifa did the street rituals. I don't know, a couple of years ago, you remember they did all of these different street rituals. They were summoning spirits of racism, the LGBTQ and woke agenda. So it was basically rituals to get agendas started. And all of these agendas started because of what BLM and Antifa did. Now everything is racial, everything is woke, everything is LGBTQ. All these things came to pass.
Okay, so with that all being said, listen, I have to disagree with him at some point. This stuff did not start with BLM. This stuff has been going on for decades, okay? So he sounds crazy saying all of that at the end of the day. But let me just play this video of Demi Moore kissing this boy who looks to be about 10 or 11. Okay, I edited it a bit, but at the end of the day, this is what goes on. Okay, this is why some of these child actors and these children who start off singing at early ages are traumatized, turn to alcohol and drugs, have mental health issues, and all of the above.
It's awful what she did. Shut up, Shakur. She didn't kiss. She just... Okay, one more time. And if you were any match, would you do something?
Why do you think you had this come out?
I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me. We do love them. And I love them.
I think it's for the publicity or...
That is absolutely sick and disgusting, okay? Why is a grown woman kissing that little child like that? Okay, I have a whole lot of questions. This is all crazy. Okay, and so I'll leave you with this before I end the broadcast. Look at this. Okay, Diddy and Naomi Campbell. Like I told you, right, those are some very good friends, all right? And many of Diddy's very good friends used to be very good friends. None of them are standing up and speaking out for him right now. They're just letting him go by the wayside. And at the end of the day, who knows how many of them are on those freak off tapes? All right. So with that all being said, everyone please like and share. Okay, above all the drama, wants me to play dominoes again on my way up out of here. So likes up, everyone please like and share. Likes up, everyone please like and share. Well, I'm not gonna play it this time because I don't have time to find it, beloved. Okay, Anita Harrell said he looked so uncomfortable. Yeah, he did. He really did. So everyone please like and share. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please make sure that you like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay, above all that drama, I promise I'll play dominoes for you in the morning. All right, so peace.
Hit 'em with that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin? God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got